Jendayi, can you press the? Yeah. Thank you.
Right, so that should work.
Yeah.
Sound is good.
Say that again.
Are you here for the leadership program open day?
Yeah.
If you just go straight up the stairs that are leading up to the incubator.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red stairs, yeah, the door's open.
It's already, you don't need to do just.
There's not even an on or off, it's just it. So now I've got no hands to work with, they're both.
That's all.
Welcome to those of you online. We'll be starting very shortly, thank you. And welcome to those of you in the room at the Coach House.
No.
Michael,
Yeah.
if you're not on the list, it's kind of that. Yeah, because my
The fan, oh yeah, it's more very good reason to move to the front. You're cold, there's no pleasing you, right? Yes, yes, either either, never in between. So for those of you just come in the room, please help yourselves to drinks and biscuits at the back, drinks hot and cold. Just be hanging around, right? So should I go and stand there? What? I never moved to where I'm gonna be then. Because I was just maybe here, so. Yeah, I'll stay here now. I don't wanna be in front of the screen.
Well, with the screen, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just.
So, when someone's speaking to you, I can. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's like when it's-
Look at Siggy now.
When you change position. That's the I think it's best to sit there.
Oh, okay. Unless I go.
Yeah. I've got my laptop, so they want to be there, expression of interest.
Okay.
You need to.
I think we'll start in just 2 minutes, so settle yourselves, and those online, thank you for your patience.
Okay, that means 2 minutes, so that means I can grab what I was going to grab.
And if you could all mute on the Zoom, please, if that's okay. Thank you. Okay, I think I will make a start because I want to leave a little bit of time at the end for you to fill out your expression of interest forms if you choose to do so. So let me just say to you online and to you in the room at the Coach House, welcome to this information session on the Leadership Development Program. As it says on the slide, my name is Jendayi Serwah, and I'm just going to be taking you through, in fact, a few things about this program that will either make you really want to come or really want to not come when we start in September. So thanks to all of you for taking the time to come out and to take the time online. I'm learning some new technological wizardry stuff here. So apparently when I talk to this camera, I'm talking directly to those on the Zoom. Hi. And when I go like this, is because I'm talking to you all and they can't, this is the only way they can see me because they're looking at the slides that you are looking at also. And I think they can see each other. So be nice to each other and put your cameras on, please. Okay. So I also want to leave time for questions. So I'm going to go through this hopefully at a decent pace. But again, thanks for coming out. And it's so great to see so many familiar, but mostly unfamiliar faces. And that's really heartening. So hopefully like myself, yourselves will make some new connections today. So those of you on the Zoom, when you're asked to introduce yourselves, if you could also do that in the chat so that those on the Zoom can also know who you are, and if they want to connect with you later on, you can do that. And then, as you know, you should be able to save the chat at the end of the session. So yes, use the opportunity. So this is a leadership development program, not just any leadership program, because it's geared towards those working or aspiring to work in the field of racial justice. So in a while, we'll talk about a little bit about mostly what that doesn't mean, because we've had a range of leadership courses running in our community over the years, and this one is unique and hasn't been run, and the content has not been delivered anywhere else in the city that I'm aware of. So I'm very proud to be working with Black Southwest Network to do this pioneering program, which we're going to be doing annually. So in September 2024. For those of you who are not successful in joining on this occasion, because I must tell you, we had 44 inquiries for this information session. And we've had expressions of interest beyond the number 12 of the cohort that we're looking to select this time. So it's very popular, and if there is a demand, then we need to also look at that. So let's move on. Clicky, clicky. Sibusiso, it's not clicking. I was very proud of my clicking ability up until that point. Aha, here we go. So for those of you who have not heard of Black Southwest Network, they are the managers of this complex, this building, the Coach House. They have the lease for this building, and they are a racial justice organization that's been going for a few decades now. But basically, this is what they are. They're Black-led racial justice organization. They do a lot of policy work around race equality, race equity, and racial justice. And yes, because they want to build strong communities, businesses and organizations that are enabled to overcome systemic barriers and thrive. So the Black Southwest Network will give you more information about the programs they run on economic inclusion and cultural heritage, as well as leadership. And they are the hosts for the Southwest Regional Race Equality Action Group, which is a group of racial justice organizations from Gloucester to Cornwall that meet once a quarter. And they previously hosted the Black Voluntary Sector Network meetings that used to happen bi-monthly back in the days, also from when they were at the Russelltown Avenue. Yeah. So the organization has been around for a very, very long time. So I'm clicking again and it's still not working. Thank you. So this is how did we get here, but not as an organization, not as BSWN, but how did we come to be delivering this course? So it's both of those things, in fact. So there's lots of evidence, and Black Southwest Network pride themselves on being an evidence-led organization. So it conducts its own research as well as influencing policy and stuff. So they did their own review in 2018 about the level of support that was available to the Black voluntary sector. And this is what the report said: the impact of austerity. And it talked about the need for strategic investment, infrastructure support, and to effect positive change in the sector. It said BAME then. That is not a term that the organization uses now. Okay. And it's one that I will never use personally. But that's one thing you'll get to learn about me on this course. A key program emphasized the need for strategic leadership, for resilience. And this highlighted, as it says here, informal leadership and building community wealth are all key factors for achieving greater resilience at city levels by strengthening its social fabric. So that's what it says, okay, in this report. But for me, there are other factors, but this is what the director of Black Southwest Network, Sado Jerdy, had to say about leadership and why she's investing time and resources into creating this pioneering program. So this is what BSWN is about: reimagining, disrupting, and rebuilding Okay. And she says, we are delighted to be extending this approach to the wider sector through our innovative leadership program, which is designed to identify, nurture, and develop our emerging leaders. Okay. Through focusing on building our next generation of transformative leaders, we will equip the sector with the inspirational ideas and genuine drive that are needed to meet the pressing issues of our time, be it racial, environmental, or economic, because all of these things also have specific race indicators as to how people racialized as Black are experiencing. So ultimately, building leadership is the first block to build a legacy for ourselves, our communities, and the racial justice sector overall. And the racial justice sector is not a huge one. There aren't many organizations like Black Southwest Network. And I remember talking to Sado about the need for this course. So there's the report. But then I was also observing, because I used to chair on behalf of Black Southwest Network, the Black Voluntary Sector Network meetings that were happening bi-monthly. And I saw some needs that were, well, pretty evident in how we saw the world, how we interfaced with institutions, what we felt we couldn't do as organizations. And it was evident where the courage was and the aspirations was, and that these things needed to be built. But we can't just build leadership in the abstract. We have to build leadership in relation to what we want to achieve, which is racial justice and equity, which is why this program, another reason why this program is running and being run by BSWN. So you'll hear a little bit more about me in a while, but if you could, and this isn't speed dating, okay, this is speed introducing, all right? So if you can, say your name and why you are here, other than to find out more. So we strike that one off the response list, okay? So now your first task is to be really innovative about how you're going to answer that one, all right? And how do you currently engage or wish to or aspire to engage in a racial justice within your community, within your area, within your organization, and so on. So we speak into the mic so that people on Zoom can hear us. That's why I'm speaking into this. And that's why Natalie has a mic for you. And I would also encourage you to come and sit at the front. Always, always take your place at the front. Because there's something going on when we always want to sit at the back. All right. I know sometimes we don't want to disturb people and all of that. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves. So, and we will have our reasons. Okay. But just a word of encouragement, because it's just something to think about. Why we fill up from the back and not the front. Yeah, seriously. Okay, so my brother at the front, please start. Your name, very briefly, please, why you're here and how do you currently engage in racial justice work?
Right. My name is Charles Banda, and I'm only here to find out a little bit more. And how I engage currently in justice progression and activism. I think I just follow closely, issues that happen just either online or what, but not physically. I haven't done so. I want to make this a start.
Okay, so at the moment you're an observer.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you. Please pass the mic behind you. Thank you. Thank you, Charles.
Hi, my name is Naya Amka Yetunde. Why I am here is because it directly ties into how obviously I want to
Could
engage in racial justice and progression. So I use African heritage history in order to empower, and so wanted to put on a range of courses, Black empowerment courses and identity, and also anti-racism training, which is what I do. So this is why I'm here, in order to incorporate that into my, community, and to be able to feed back into the, the social economic aspect.
Okay, so your work is community-based. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex Harris. I run a arts organisation called Beyond Face CIC, and we are all about supporting young people, communities and artists, and our mission is around making the Southwest kind of being put on the map in arts and culture as a area of the country that people can thrive in, particularly within the arts and culture sector. And we've just been given funding for the next 3 years from the Arts Council. And so I'm aware of my responsibility of having public funding. So I guess why I'm here is around kind of what I can do more within my position within the organisation.
Thank you.
My name is Jasmine. I run an organisation called the Fancy Finance, where we talk about financial literacy for Black and minority families. I'm also an NHS researcher for why Black and minority people do not use the NHS services. This would incorporate to my community, because I could share the skills that I've learned from here, how to incorporate that in your workplace, how to identify it when it's happening, how to use your leadership skills, and just learning the skills to create more allies within corporate industries to explain racial injustice and progression.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Unique. I'm here to support my mum. I think it's always important to be in rooms and learn more about how we can do more for the problems we have in society. I run a property business, and within the property business and space, I try to encourage young people to learn about financial literacy and educate yourself around credit and tax and things that are kind of maybe taboo in the Black community. I also run wellness retreats, and I try to incorporate some of that into it. I recently ran a retreat for Black young men to help them experience holistic treatments and show them what like a spa day is, because I don't feel like that's something they're engaging much. What I'm currently doing, I don't feel like I'm doing enough or much, but online I do find myself in a lot of disputes and stuff around racism.
Thank you. No, that's okay. Tunga, you can, and then we'll go back. Thank you.
Okay, Barbara Witter. I'd prefer to be known as Tunga. Why I'm here? I'm here because I've been looking at the legacy in institutions, local authorities specifically, but general institutions, and effect on young people coming up through the system and everybody in the system, basically. And I've been working on that for the last 2 years, and hopefully this year there'll be an opportunity to start addressing or redressing the issues of race in the system.
Okay, thank you. Shall we dance?
Hi, my name is Carmen Hutchinson.
Yeah.
And,
bring the mic to you, my sis.
yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
My name is Carmen Hutchinson, and why I'm here, I can't say, because I will not say to find out more. So I will say something else. I'm from Bristol. I'm representing Bristol Black Carers. I've got a lot of experience in the past in leadership, and I also have a lot of experience with young people who have problem in terms of racial justice. I've always wanted to be a magistrate, but somehow I've been busy in other things. And when I read the thing about the interests and why you want to do it, I could see all the lines where I would like to build on my previous leadership skill, gain knowledge about what is available in terms of the racial criteria of the course, and able to use it to support people who's often coming to Bristol Black Carers and asking us about every and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my reason for doing it.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Puspa Raj Pant.
Say again, please.
My name is Puspa Pant. I actually am here to relate myself because I'm working with the University of the West of England, and it's a very interesting program. And I've recently started. It's about using the pictures, the photographs of people with non-white skins in the textbook or the educational material in healthcare, which is found to be less represented. So I relate this in a way that is something to do with minoritized ethnic groups, and I would like to. I'm here to because my job there is to engage with the communities and motivate them to get photographed or taken pictures so that they can be used later stages. So that's why.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're just doing introductions. You're very welcome. We'll come to you in a little while on these 3 points. Okay, who's next?
Hi, my name is Matsadiso, and I'm here because leadership, the term very much resonates with me being a mother, and also the project that I'm working on, which is actually trying to combat silent racism within the Muslim community, which is actually contradictory to the history within Islam, which is very rich in Black history. And so I'd like to know how to combat that and acknowledge skills of combating that through anti-racism.
Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, my name's Sandra Marshall. I'm a senior practitioner for Bristol City Council Adult Care. The reason why I'm here, actually, I've done a leadership programme before for Bristol City Council, Stepping Up programme. Did that last May, did that. It's like something to top it up, really. And I found reading this programme was quite interesting, and I must have known, obviously I'm here to know more than everybody else and just to see whether it suits me. And but I mean, racial justice, I feel doing my job as social worker, I'm always out there fighting anyway for people's justice and stuff. And with British City Council sort of reputation of being sort of racism, unfortunately that's still out there, I'm afraid. So yeah, I just want to come here and just find out more and what else I can do really for people.
Thank you.
Hello, yeah, I'm Eva Roberts, and why am I here? Well, I did come to find out more, but obviously you can't say that. So yeah, I guess it's just to the leadership really resonated with me and the program, so I wanted to come along and get more information. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Akbal. My background is education. I'm a teacher, and I've gone part-time this year, so I can kind of focus a bit of my time on trying to figure out how I can get more involved in making sure people of colour are treated more fairly in the workplace.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So we have the back row and then the front row.
Hi, my name is Mohammed. And
say again, please.
My name is Mohammed. Can you hear me? I'm working in Shining Care agency in Bristol. And leader.
I want to.
Sorry, could you please mute on the Zoom? Thank you. Go ahead, Mohammed.
Yeah, I think the leadership is always when you are different colors takes time to recognizing. So that's why I'm come here to see it. The program you guys offer for small organization in the city. It's always they have difficult things in there or barriers. So that's why I'm just passing.
Thank you. So I think we should come to the front now and do these two brothers here before we go to the back again. So we're just addressing these 3 points. Can I check how many people are on the Zoom, Natalie, please? This brother and this brother. 16. Okay. Yes.
Okay, Abdi Karim with Shining Care Training.
Okay, thank you.
First I did with the Shining Care.
Okay.
I'm Eli.
Could you use the mic, please? Otherwise, I won't hear you online.
Yes, I'm Idali Ahmed. I'm a consultant for the Shining Care. I have written a lot about, racial justice. I am a charter fellow of the Humor CIBD Institute, and I was a lecturer at Cardiff University. I've done a lot of research about equality, racism. Before that, I was the director and the founder of the Welsh Refugee Council. Here in Bristol, I did a research, with the Bristol City Council, 204, about the Somali community. It was launched by the City Council. And I want to look again, after 18 years, where the community is.
Okay.
And that's why I'm helping, this Shining Care.
Thank you. Thank you. So if we could have the mic at the back for those who haven't introduced themselves yet. And then pass the mic back, please, Alex.
Hi, my name is Alexandra. I came here to broaden my horizon. I've spent a lot of my life kind of suffering with mental health issues and trying to get support with that. And it's kind of pushed me to try and provide a service rather than seek a service, like kind of having an experience where there's a lot of injustice and there's a lot of almost an excuse when it comes to receiving a service, and ultimately something else is being put before you rather than your mental health, your well-being, all of these things that are valid. There's another reason that you're getting told that you can't get that support. So yeah, I'm looking to basically empower myself. That's what I'm looking to do. That's
Okay.
what I'm doing.
Thank you.
Great. My name is Francis Gichamba. I'm here basically just to learn the different aspects of racial inequalities. I'm currently engaged with a issue in the community, an ongoing issue in the community, and that basically has just brought me into contact with racial injustice when it comes to resources distribution. St. Paul's, as we might know, is such a deprived area, and it's not due to the fact that people are not empowered, is because resources are held back. And I could basically just put this down to racial inequalities, because I can't see any other area in Bristol that does not receive services like it should be. I also operate supported living entity for caregivers, and part of it really is to look at the economic aspects from the social services and the way we have to struggle just to get into the system as Black people. So that's some things we need to address as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, evening all. 1, 2. Can you hear me, Sister Jendayi?
Yes.
My name is Sis Nwani. Why am I here? I probably want to refresh my past. I feel I've been slightly disengaged in some of the topics affecting our community. So I think I want to re-engage. I'm not currently experiencing any racial injustice at the moment, but we're just about to launch our well-being support project for young people. And the purpose of doing that is to actually identify how we can have early intervention from young people who are actually being sectioned a lot sooner than their white counterparts. So I'm here to refresh and learn, really and truly. Yeah.
Okay.
So give thanks.
Thank you. I think that is it.
We've got a few online. Do you want me to share them?
If you can read them out, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Because I think the introductions will take up the whole hour.
Yeah.
And we're in a very blessed position to be able to say that still.
So we've got Agnes Joshua, and aspiring to get to leadership, and it has not been easy to climb the ladder to leadership and management. I'm a chartered accountant.
Then we've got, my name is Beverly Forbes. I have always been interested in leadership, specifically in racial justice, but my life took a different path. I'm now in a position to pursue this and need to educate myself and develop further in order to move forward in an informed and confident way. And we've got, I'm Tidra here because this is an opportunity unlike others I've seen. Oh God, so sorry, it's jumping. Oh dear. Right, okay, let me see if I can do that better. It's jumping. I'll read another one. Hello, I'm Valerie Sims, a resident of Gloucester and the proud founder and chair of Arts Diversity CIC. My mission goes beyond art and culture. I aspire to be an active participant in the justice system, working towards the empowerment of the diverse communities in Gloucester. Through Arts Diversity, I'm committed to leveraging our collective strength to foster positive change within the justice system. My vision is to create opportunity for dialogue. Oh, it keeps, sorry, it keeps jumping. Well, I'll read another one. My name is Rachel DeGarand. I used to work in the field of racial justice, but left the sector due to stress of the role. However, I'm now working for the Mainstream Arts Development Agency, who have just undertaken an inclusion review. I'm a member of the Internal Race Equality and Black Staff Group and wish to rebuild my confidence in order to take up a leadership role and contribute more effectively to the process. Many thanks. Yeah, Valerie says she's excited to embark on the journey. So my name is Verona Vidal, and I'm currently the community development worker for Gloucestershire Racial Equality Action Group. I've worked in community development for many years, and I'm interested in building my confidence around systems and systems change. And we've got, sorry, it's, I think we're going to leave it here.
Sure.
We will, just for those people on the Zoom, I apologize, but it's jumping all over the place. So we will copy the chat and share it.
Yeah, so it'd be useful to know everyone that's in the room. Thank you. All right, let's move on. I'm clicking.
Right, okay, I'll move you.
Oh, this is about me. There's something really about credentials, you know, and living in the UK, being here, we are subject to Eurocentrism. We're subject to Eurocentrism as a yardstick of propriety in terms of what's right and what's credible and what's measurable and so on. So you're not going to see any qualifications here whatsoever. It doesn't mean that I don't have them, but qualifications are not the only measure of someone's credentials and ability to deliver and write a course such as this one. And I think that is one of the examples of leadership. If we're going to take something away from this session, is about who defines what is credible. So for me, I've got 30 years of leadership and management experience. That's in the voluntary sector, in the community sector, and in the activist sector, because they're not necessarily the same thing. I've been working with BSWN since 2018, assistant researcher and as a chair of their voluntary sector network and chair of the Southwest Regional Race Equality Action Group currently. Yes, I do public speaking and I do bits of training and consultancy. Recently, I just worked 6 months with Docklands on their identity and their vision and their mission forward. So working with them on a journey, working with the entire youth service in Bristol in terms of their youth work strategy going forward. As some of the examples of the work that I do, that I'm paid for. What I don't get paid for is being a reparations activist. Because when you're an activist, that's work you do with your heart and your soul, and that's the work that you do when other people are sleeping. And so, yeah. And what drives me is the world that my children and their children and their children and their children are going to inherit. So that's really up to us what that looks like. And so that's a driver for me. Sorry, one of the days I forget my watch, so I got the phone in my hand to kind of keep an eye on time. So this is just a little bit. Sorry, let me know if I've gone off. I've moved my chair now, so Sibas won't be happy if I'm not showing properly on the screen. But this is what the leadership program is roughly about, or how it's composed. It's a 3-month experience. It's something where we employ and embrace, African traditions of each one teach one, each one reach one. It's not a Eurocentric experience of you extract from me and you take and you give nothing back. So there's a mutual experiential and learning journey that we're going to be on. So each one teach one and inspire one. So we are advocates of knowledge production that promotes alternative worldviews. And as someone of African heritage, that is something that is going to strongly inform the program that you're going to be hearing and participating in and, engaging with. Within that, we can't talk about leadership in the abstract. If we're talking about leadership, racial justice, we have to understand what race is, what racism is, and we have to have an idea what justice looks like in relation to that. So we'll go on in a moment to what it's not as well. So we're strengthening the leadership in the sector so that the young people that were sat here and introduced themselves and others coming forward will have tools, will have an outlook which is not going to be taught to you in institutions like Common Purpose or and so on and so forth. So we're talking about an understanding of who we are and an understanding of leadership that drives us in a particular purpose towards racial justice, whatever we feel that should look like. So I need to move on. Clicky, please, Natalie. So what it's not an EDI course. And actually, one of the things we'll be talking about is how equality, diversion, and inclusion is deceptive when it comes to the agenda of racial justice. And so as leaders in the industry, how you're going to navigate that, how you're going to deal with that, how you're going to deal with this, the deceptions and the other challenges that this generic thing called EDI brings when looking specifically at racial justice. It's not a course that reinforces ways of working. It's not a course that's going to elevate Eurocentric thought and the ways of doing things. So if someone is here just to learn how to climb the corporate ladder and get a higher management position and earn more money, you're probably in the wrong place. Okay, so we are not talking about training for managers in a conventional voluntary sector way. We're talking about leadership skills. We're talking about knowledge production. We're talking about learning about what race is and therefore how we're going to challenge it in the sector and also in the society we live in. Because it's not just about those who are working in the voluntary sector. There's many of you here who are doing this work in an unpaid capacity, either as small organizations or as activists in your community and doing your community development work. So this course has a design with you in mind also. So if you think you're going to be learning about the difference between a CIC and a CIO and a registered charity, you're in the wrong place. If you think that you're here because you want to be promoted at work, you're probably in the wrong place. And there's lots of things that are going to, as BSWN says, disrupt our thinking about what leadership is, how it manifests, and what it should do in relation to racial justice. So who is the course for? Global majority community. We're not minorities in any way, shape, or form, even in the UK. Okay, we are minoritized numerically. That's the difference. Okay, so one of the things that we need to do is own who we are and identify ourselves and be proud to be associated with the land masses and the places that inform our heritage, inform our values, our customs, our culture, and our identity. Okay, so this course is people from, is for people from global majority communities, also referred to as Global South, okay? Also referred to as melanin rich, okay? So you might have experience in management or leading in whatever capacity, or you may be one of those people who, I need to do something. I need something to help me navigate. I need something to help me understand the terrain that I'm in. And I need to be able to identify my path, because sometimes when it comes to racial justice, there's lots of distractions. Okay, there's lots of hurdles, and so sometimes we think that doing something is a good thing because it will get us to another destination, but there's lots of Trojan horses in the racial justice world. Okay, so if you want to demonstrate your interest on your expression of interest form, you need to tell us about what you're doing or aspire to do. You might be leading a campaign or a particular cause. You might be aspiring to lead an organization that has a racial justice element to it. We have 6 sessions I'll tell you about in a moment. You need to be committed to attending all of those in person, okay? And you need to be resident or work in the Southwest. That's from Gloucester to Cornwall is our patch at BSWN. So I'm sure most of you, if you're here, you fit that criteria. Okay, so how's it organized? 6 one-day sessions. We'll go into the themes in a little while. So that's not the end of it, because there is self-directed study time. So there are things that you need to do outside of that one day or those 6 days. There are one-to-one sessions with me as the lead facilitator. There is a workbook for you to also help you to build knowledge of your journey and document it along the way. And when you finish it, it's something you can look back on, and it's something that you can also show your children coming up into the world of work and adulthood and so on and so forth. We will have guest contributors at every session. Some of them will be telling their leadership stories. Some of them will be telling their stories in relation to leadership around race, but also intersected with their age and their gender as well, because all those things matter to us. We experience things on our observable characteristics, so-called race, okay, but we also experience other things on other observable characteristics, whether you're a young person, whether you're a woman, or whether you're a Black man. These things matter on your leadership journey. So there'll be opportunities for the cohort of around 12 to work together. So we talk about peer-to-peer learning as well. Clicky, please, Natalie. So the 6 sessions, the first one is your orientation, your onboarding. So an overview of the program and to go again, talk again about your expectations. And we're going to be talking about leadership theory a bit, but not just straightforward. What is a leader? What are the skills of and qualities of leadership and all of that? Those things will run through the session, but through the lens of race. So we'll also be drawing on many things that come from the heroes and sheroes, the pioneers and the activists in our communities, in our world, that have contributed to this agenda, because it's an agenda that's centuries old, okay? Centuries old. And so the third session is about leading change. So it's not just about management of change in your organization, because anybody who works for a substantial organization, they'll know about management of change policies, and how you change someone's job from this to that, and how you might make them redundant. It's not that kind of change, okay? Although we will touch on it. So managing change is also about managing the change that you want to see in the area that you're working in. Okay, so it could be in relation to how you lead a team in the workplace. It could also be about how you lead change in your communities, or how you lead something locally as part of a global agenda. Let's say climate change, yeah, as an example. So leading change is a third session. Then we have a session on influencing. So how do you do that? How do you practically do that? What's the skills that you need? What are the techniques? And how do you influence people to follow your lead? So all of that is in session 4 and 5. I'm using the Chui Akan Adinkrahine and Adinkrahima, which are king and queen, he or she who wants to be king or queen. That is session 5, bringing the leader in you out of yourself. So it's going to be a very practical experience in that respect. And so hopefully by then you'd have gotten to know each other enough, because, we need to make mistakes together and be okay in a place of safety, and we need to try stuff that maybe we haven't tried before and still feel that we're able to do that in the room. So that's session 4 and 5. And then we end on the 21st of November with an evaluation session, which is embracing the principle of Sankofa, looking back to look forward. You will also be able to influence how this course develops by your feedback. So when we run it again, it will go from strength to strength. So the course outcomes, greater understanding and experience of leadership and the way race influences dynamics. So everything that we're doing has a race lens, self-awareness of the type of leader you are, and how identity may shape this, but also what else do you need to do to look at the things that you want to develop. Higher race self-esteem. The system has us in a way almost not wanting us to own who we are, which is why we have these ridiculous terms like BAME and BME and people of color and all of that, as if we're not able to own our own identities in some way. So we need to, if we're fighting for racial justice, we need to own who we are and have a high sense of purpose in that regard. So higher race self-esteem, not personal self-esteem, race esteem, contributing to greater confidence, greater knowledge and understanding of society, because that's your battlefield. That's your context, okay? And sometimes what you see is not what it is. And so we need to unpick some of that. society, the sector, and of race and racism. We have to start there, because if we don't have a common understanding, we might not necessarily have agreement, but if we don't have a common understanding about what it is we're trying to do, we start with a problem. So the final two outcomes: increased knowledge and confidence of how to navigate in a leadership role, its challenges and responsibilities, including leading single and mixed race teams, for some of you that work in organizations, managing change, public and presenting skills, effective challenging and influencing, and leading for a cause and a campaign. So we emphasize those things because we're not just about organizational leadership, and we're certainly not just about management. And we will explore the difference between the two, leadership versus management. Okay, very early on. So you will have increased clarity, courage, and confidence in applying the experiences of this course to your future ambitions for self and for communities that you serve in order to effect greater racial justice. So the 6 sessions are on these dates: 12th of September, 26th of September, 10th and 24th of October, 7th and 21st of November. There are provisional dates there for the one-to-one sessions with me, and those were pretty much tailored by what your needs are. And so, but if those days are not convenient, there may be some flexibility.
But just one of the days is in October 24th.
Yeah, did I not say that?
No, it's the 24 instead of 23, but that's fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're talking about these over here. I have no idea. I only remember these. So I would not have spotted that. Sorry. Okay. So those of you who are smart and flashy with your smartphones can do this QR thing and find out more, submit your expression of interest. Anybody visited the BSWN website and read about this program? Thank you. Okay. All right. So Mina is your point of contact for further questions. Natalie, who is a capacity building manager for Black Southwest Network, is also available to support you, and especially today if you wish to sign up. I can see this scanning thing is going on. It's very impressive. I'm still not there yet. So yeah, that's it. I think, yeah, we have a little bit of time for questions. I think we can have maybe 10 minutes because we started 10 minutes late. And I think that's it. Thank you very much. Any questions? I'll take some from the chat, Natalie, in a little while. But I'll take some from those of us in the room right now. Anyone have any questions?
Okay, so one question from the chat. How much does the course cost?
It's a free course. BSWN are investing in its future leaders.
That's all I have for now.
So it's more than money could ever buy. Okay, my sister, sorry, behind you, and then yourself, and then yourself. You, okay. And then we'll go over to the other side. Thank you.
Hi again. So you mentioned about how we initially need to identify what is race and what is racism. And there was this term I called about having a self-esteem or racial self-esteem. How would you identify the difference between racial self-esteem and ethnic self-esteem? That's one. And two, how would you identify race? Because there's a controversy about, does race even exist? Should we even be categorized?
Yeah, I mean, race is a construct, but racism is a reality. And I've never heard the term ethnic self-esteem, but there's a thing, personal self-esteem can mean anything. So I'm really confident about speaking to you right now. Ask me to cook you a meal and I go to pieces and I break out into a cold sweat. So there's things that we have confidence in one level and other things that we don't. So my race self-esteem is extremely high and through the roof. Okay, there are other people who may have that, but don't feel so confident as a woman, for example. So there are different types of self-concept and self-esteem, but we go into that a little bit more on the program. Okay, Tunga, next, please.
Just the question about the course, because you said that there's a set amount of number doing the course who can do the course at any one
Yes.
time, and the interest has been expressed higher. So I'm just wondering how you're going to work out. Is it first come, first serve, or is it are you going to?
It's not first come, first serve.
Have a mixture of
Yeah.
different individuals on the course. I'm just wondering how that decision is going to be made.
It's a very good question. It won't be on a first come, first serve basis. We are going to be developing the criteria based on you know, the outcomes for the course and who it's for. So if this brother can speak, and then yeah, and then I'll go over this side and come back to that side. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My question partly answered, because I was thinking about if there are more than, you've got 12 places only, right? Yeah. So that's, you've answered. Another question is about, are you looking for any individual ideas to work as a project, individual project, independent project of the person, or is there any things?
There will be personal work, but you won't have to do a project. The commitment outside of the 6 days is to have one-to-one sessions that are either going to be coaching or mentoring, depending on what your needs are. There is your workbook, which will require you to do weekly activities, and then there will be homework. That word might trigger some of you after each session as well. And as I say, peer-to-peer led learning. So there was hands initially over this side.
Question?
Was it?
Question?
Okay.
No.
Behind? No?
Question?
Maybe it's been answered. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll go back over here then.
Sorry. Oh, you want that? Yeah. You want one of those?
Okay.
I think I know the answer, but I still ask. I know for sure there are 3 of those days, if I was one of the lucky ones, that I wouldn't able to keep because I'll be abroad.
Right.
So should I look to 2024 then?
I would advise you to, because you're talking about 50% not a non-attendance. That's quite problematic for others on the course and for you in terms of fulfillment on the course. And it's very problematic for those facilitating. So I would say that if you're going to be missing 50% of the course, it's probably not something
3 weeks.
Yeah. If you're going to be missing however long you are away, if you're going to be missing 50% of the course, it's probably best to wait till it comes round again. This sister here.
Just going back to how many people's applying for the course.
Yes.
Is there only 12 places that was all you've got there? Is it 12?
Yes.
Or that's okay.
Yes.
How would you, what would people like? Would you do an interview or?
Yeah, the question was asked, and we're not going to do interviews.
Okay.
We're going to look at the expression of interest forms, and we'll be informed by what the outcomes are and the criteria for selection as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a quick question before I go. Will it be in the evening or during the afternoon?
10 till 3 weekdays. It's most likely a Tuesday, and the one-to-one days most likely a Thursday. But the one-to-one days or times, because it's only an hour per person, is definitely negotiable. And some people may or may not take up all of those. My brother down here, please, Michelle.
Sorry.
You have questions, Natalie? Okay, I'm coming.
It's very interesting, and I'm glad I'm here, to hear, about this program. What about the progression for those who attend the 12-week?
Yeah.
Is there a progression that they have to do? Because there is a lot going on about diversity, equality, and all this in different sectors. Are you going to direct them to what
At
they
this
can progress to?
point, at this point, there are no plans for progression because this is a pilot. So it's the first time that it's going to be run. And then it's going to be run again in 2024. So we wouldn't be looking at progression necessarily because we haven't run the course yet. And then if there was a demand for progression, we would need to look at how that is, what that should look like, and how it could be resourced. So the short answer is no.
But you have to inspire them.
Yes.
Say that.
Yes. And this is what this program, sorry, if you could just, you have to inspire and motivate is what the brother said. Yes, but it doesn't mean that you have everything ready. The thing about leadership is that if we are developing leaders, maybe if you run the course, you run the progression parts. Do you understand? That's how it should work. So we also need to be of a mind about what we can do and what our purpose is in developing these skills and knowledge. So at this point, as a pilot, there are no plans for progression because it's a pilot and we need to see how it works. And we don't necessarily have an investment ready for a progression, but to run it again, we have resources for that. Thank you. So questions from the Zoom, thank you.
So Ian is asking, what do you think are the benefits of this leadership course will be? I'm very interested in providing solutions from an environmental perspective, and I've found previous leadership courses quite academic.
This one won't be academic. It's speaking to you as a grassroots activist. It's speaking to you in a way that you can use transformative and transferable concepts and ideas and apply them to the field that you're working in. So if you're looking at eco-fascism and how to deal with that, there's going to be elements of what you bring to the course that will enable you to be able to think about how you can develop your challenge. Because at the end of the day, racial justice is about challenge. Racial justice is about disruption. Racial justice is not about maintaining and accepting the status quo. So we're looking at equipping people with a set of skills and some knowledge and some experiences that will enable them, whether it's health-related work, environmental-related work, reparations-related work, whether it's voluntary sector-related work, whether it's youth work, there should be an application to all those things as a result of doing this course.
And
okay.
And another, the last question is, will this course be run at the same time every year?
Yes, we're looking to run in September 2024. For the next one, possibly, but for this one, the days are set. And what I would say to you is that we would encourage you to, if you are in a workplace situation, to see this as part of your continuing professional development and get your managers, your organizations to release you to do that if they're committed to developing you, because actually it's not costing them anything other than for you not to be there in a day. And if anybody's asking, no, we don't pay backfill and travel expenses and stuff like this. But your first challenge may be to make a case for you to be able to do this in your work time and how it's going to benefit what you do to your organization, to your employers. But thank you for that. And, you know, we also need to see how things go before we modify what we're doing for next year. There's a question at the front here, 2 questions. I'm sorry, my brother. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
And then use this.
Originally, when I just sit down, you caught me at that time. I'm senior consultant to Shining Care. However, I'm from Cardiff, youngest African to chair the Race Equality Council in South Glamorgan. Currently, I'm senior consultant and worker with the African Community Center, and we're happy to replicate this course across in terms of the bridge.
Okay.
And we welcome, in terms of collaboration, because we have a large African, Asians, and Caribbean communities, which are large in terms of, the world's and with a proud history.
Okay.
So
yes.
don't think of yourself just across.
Sure.
Don't let the Seven Bridge divide us.
Oh, absolutely.
And
yeah.
I'm happy to, as a business development manager for the African Community Center, to host this one. Working with my colleagues. So Black Southwest Network. Feel free to come across the road.
Okay,
and across the bridge.
Yeah, and I think if that's something you want to do, then by all means talk to Mina and Sado, the director here, about doing that.
Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. How do you access the expression of interest form if you don't have a phone that could have a QR code?
There is a link to it on the website, and there is a link in the publicity that's been going around. And if you're in the room today, you can access it at the back.
Okay, thank you.
So the website, Natalie, is it blacksouthwestnetwork.org? Yeah. Yeah, and there's a whole write-up on the program, and there is a link to the expression of interest form on the website for those of you online, and for those of you here, you can complete it today with the support of Natalie. Any other questions? I thank you for your time, those of you online and those of you in the room. We are 10 minutes over. Thank you for your commitment, your patience and sacrifice. Say again? Oh, so this presentation is being recorded. So where will people be able to access it, Michelle? It's going to be emailed to everyone tomorrow.
So the individuals who came in and wasn't on the list, can we have your email address?
So yes, if anybody has been sent the link and is listening in, is watching in, and needs that recording, then you need to contact BSWN to access the recording if you're not on the registration list for today. So thank you very much for your time. Please talk to each other. Thank you.
Just keep that turned down. Oh, yes, it is. Were you on the list? No, we just give me your